Gigi.
Yes.
Gigi. I'm hurting, girl. The Hangover is real today. It's not just a show.
It's not just
a show title.
It is real.
Oh. Gee, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna waste nobody's time. I gotta go to the top news yesterday.
Top news?
Top news yesterday. You gotta know what it is.
What? What is it? Is it? Wait a minute. Let me think. Top news.
Top news of the day yesterday.
Is it the Ohio State Oregon game?
No, 2 versus 3 is great. Not the top news yesterday.
Is it? I can't think.
Bama only winning by 2? No, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong.
No,
LSU upsetting Ole Miss?
Oh,
no, absolutely not.
Not that either?
Absolutely not.
What? What is it? Go ahead.
Cam Rising is back. Cam Rising played this week. Utah, number 16, versus unranked Arizona State. When's the last time you seen Cam Rising?
I don't even remember. I don't think I've ever seen Cam Rising.
Cam Rising is the greatest injured quarterback of all time.
I think he is a 7-year senior.
So he is a 7-year senior. It's his 7-year starting. Cam Rising hurt his finger this season. And we'll talk about what we think about that finger. He hurt his finger this season, so he missed, I think, the last 3 or 4 games.
Wasn't it his foot?
Well, he hurt his finger. He came back yesterday after a hurt finger and then rolled on his ankle. 2020, Cam Rising plays 2 games. He goes out with, I think, a shoulder injury. 2021, he gets 13 games, takes him to a bowl game, gets injured in a bowl game, I think. 2022, same thing. 13 games, gets injured in a bowl game. 2023, he didn't play at all because he hurt his ACL. So he was out for the entire year last year. Comes back this year again.
$20 million man.
Hurts his finger. Mr. Glass. Now, I don't think that finger was fixed.
Well, after the 3 interceptions, I don't think it was fixed either.
Here's what's crazy. Yes, Utah did lose. They need to be dropped. They lost to an unranked Arizona State. I told you Arizona State is tough. They always play tough because it's a in-conference player. At least it was once upon a time. And as well as he had a glove on. And I don't know, I haven't watched him play enough. I don't think he plays with a glove. And what was interesting was, even with the 3 interceptions, even with his balls not kind of being accurate, and because I've seen Cam Rising do some things. Sorry about that, y'all. Our chef is making breakfast so we can soak up the hangover. You know you can't find that help these days. They still looked okay. They still looked okay. Arizona State pulls out an end. But that was the top news, and we can go home now. I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
Oh, not so fast, my friend. I think there is. It was the, I always like to call it Battle of the Giants. They're not Giants yet. We still got a lot of football to go. But it was number 2, Ohio State, versus number 3, Oregon.
And Gee, we had a surprise for you yesterday. Henceforth, the Hangover. We didn't stay home and watch that game. We went to the Cosm in Los Angeles, and let's roll the clip, people.
Kelly smartly getting to the line and getting the ball. We'll get motion, second to go. Howard steps up. Howard.
And so,
what a game!
What a game! So it was a late birthday gift for you,
yes,
right? The Cosm is similar to the Sphere in Vegas, except for it's more like a half of the dome, right? And so we get there, we get in, and it felt like we were on that field. You seen it, people. You seen it.
You could, the energy, the whole concept. You got a seat, you got a little table, you got that huge screen in front of you. You're watching these players move, and you're sitting right behind them. I thought I was at the game.
I tried to tell Ryan Day what to call. I don't know if he could hear me. I don't know if it was a two-way. He seen me, though, because I seen him. He was right there.
I tried to get in the game.
He was right there. Okay.
I told him.
The game. I want to say this. As Ohio State, first things first, I was not worried about Oregon until I seen them play last week.
Yeah.
What I want to say about Oregon is week after week, including yesterday, they continue to get better.
They look good.
And that's all you can ask from a team, and that's also very scary.
That they look good.
Because they're not up and down. A lot of people are going up and down.
True.
They look good until they get challenged, right? So I want to say that I was worried about Oregon. I had good reason to be worried about Oregon. Oregon, out of all of the teams that were coming out of the Pac-12 to Big Ten, was the one that I thought was going to be the best fit.
So far it is.
And so far they're proving
it is. And Ohio State needed the challenge.
Yes, we needed the challenge. And Oregon made mistakes. You had the guy who spit.
Oh, no, please.
Spat on somebody.
Don't go there.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Don't. People, don't do that.
They did the like an offside kick early. I gotta respect that.
That was crazy. And
they had some extra points that they missed, and I can say that about Oregon. And what I also can say is Dylan Gabriel threw that ball when he needed to throw it.
All the time.
That offense was outrunning the Ohio State defense, which is the #1 defense in the nation. I want to put all that out there because I don't want it to be I'm biased. I'm very salty that my team lost, especially by 1 point. Especially if there was 2 more seconds on the clock, we could be having a different conversation.
Well, my point is Ryan Day got too conservative in the fourth quarter.
I don't think he was being. This is the
throw
thing.
That ball.
This is what I want to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was going to go next. I was going to go to the critiques of Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State made a lot of mistakes. I think they were playing a different football. And I talked to you about this because we talked about it before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Tressel, little shady.
Oh, yeah.
The allegations, you can Google it. Urban Meyer, gritty. Urban came from the Gators. He got ran out of that restaurant in Gainesville because they don't mess around when you lose.
Right.
And he said that. You have to win a championship every year in Florida when he was there, and they were not taking no for an answer. He thought, remember, after he won that, we watched that documentary,
right.
He won that first championship,
yes.
and he said, oh, I can relax. And he said, oh, I was wrong.
No, he couldn't.
I was wrong because that's the standard now in Gator country. You need to win a championship every year. Ohio State, you get Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day is Charlie football. He wants to come in. He wants to play traditional football. I don't want to call him conservative because I think Ryan Day is not necessarily conservative. I feel like he's modern, but he wants to play traditional football. Questions I have for him, though, and I don't know if you want to call him or if I need to call him.
One of us got to.
Why did Will Howard not use his arm in the long ball?
Exactly, especially the fourth quarter, because that was so critical after that. What was it?
The big touchdown they got?
No. The big touchdown, I was in the bathroom.
Oh.
But that onside kick, I didn't expect that.
That was first quarter.
That was first quarter.
Or first or second. That wasn't at the end of the game.
No, that wasn't. Now that you mentioned it. But you should have known right there. Dan Lanning was pulling stuff out of a grab bag.
Why at that point didn't you
try to pull something out of your grab bag?
That was going to be my next thing. Why didn't Will Howard use the long ball? Now, they watched the film. And we haven't seen a lot of the long ball, and we did talk about his accuracy. But at this point, who gives a shit? He has the ball. He has the arm for it. He's your guy. Put him out there and challenge him.
And we were saying this was like an Iowa championship game. Even some of the commentators
Rose Bowl. They said this is a Rose. This felt like a Rose Bowl.
This is a Rose Bowl game. We felt it too. I mean, coming down to that last 3 or 4 minutes, you could feel that. Feel the electricity in that crowd. And we weren't even in the crowd. We was just.
Well, we were kind of.
We were kind of in the crowd.
We were kind of there. My other problem was I feel like defense played flat. I don't think they looked awful. I just felt like they played flat.
I feel the same way.
They didn't have any interceptions. There were no explosive plays from Ohio State. There was no, like you said, nobody got deep in the bag. And I just don't understand why. It felt like they went out there and said, you know what, we're going to keep playing our football game. You're away. You're in somebody else's stadium.
Yes.
You traveled all across the country to get there from Ohio to Oregon. And you should have been ready. I felt bad for 48 who got hit by that offside kick because he wasn't ready, but that's the point. Because if you stay ready,
you'll be ready.
You don't have to get ready.
Oh, that's
is
true.
the quote. I'm done talking about it. Ohio State lost number 2. Oregon number 3 won by 1 point. Last play, Will Howard, it blew up. They lost 4 seconds. Will Howard runs the ball, tries to slide to save time for a field goal. It's too late. It's 0-0-0-0 on the clock.
Again, take those little quirks, like you said, take those little what should I have done, put them in the next week's game. Everything you see that you might have done, put them in next week's game, Ryan. Bring out a little razzle dazzle.
I'm gonna text him that.
I want if I was you.
Because here's I love that you said that, because here's the other thing I'm gonna say. Because though I love my Ohio State Buckeyes, we talked about how we live on a plane of perfection. You cannot lose a game at Ohio State. You cannot lose a game. You have to go undefeated in the regular season. We don't understand what being okay with 1 loss, let alone 2, 3 losses. You need 6 and 6 to get to a bowl. We don't understand what that means.
And it doesn't make there's no excuse. You have the talent.
We don't understand what that means.
You have the talent.
Well, I say that to say I want to sit here and boo-hoo as a fan, but there are fans who, I mean, we can go into the next game where we're going to talk about, which they're the same way. Yeah. Bama lost to an unranked Vanderbilt last week and only won by 2 points yesterday to South Carolina. And if you're a Bama fan, you're a Georgia fan, I would even say Oregon fan. Yeah. And if you're a Ohio State fan, right, you coast through Saturdays
like no problem.
Now you got your rivalry game, and then of course once you go into your conference championships, that's different, and then we go into the big championship playoffs. But you coast through the season knowing your team is the winner. So when you ride high, the fall is very hard.
Very hard.
But this is a new era of football.
Learn from it.
1 loss doesn't kill you. Sometimes 2 loss doesn't kill you. And the way that the conferences are set up, they're super conferences. It's going to be rare that anybody in the Power 4 goes unscathed. It's the whole undefeated regular season is going to be a new thing to uphold now. Yeah. It used to didn't be. It used to be, of course you're undefeated. You're Bama. You're Georgia. You're Ohio State. And I hated that we lost, but I love that. Because we became Lolo. Is that a word? We became lulled?
No.
Okay. We'll move on. We'll move on. Speaking of being a super fan and a super dynasty, Bama versus North Carolina or South Carolina Gamecocks.
Now I wasn't going to watch that game because I told I was tired with the big boys, but
I didn't watch. I started the game, and this is what Pat McAfee said on game day. He said all of the graphics are the same, which means today's going to be chaotic. And I said no. I said certain stuff could be, because we had some good matchups. 2 versus 3. Come on, give me a break. What more could you ask for?
Couldn't.
In the same conference, by the way. And so I said, I thought, no. I'm going to watch the beginnings. People are going to go up. And then I'm going to go where the action is. Bama went up 14-0. And I said, okay, Bama's back. They learned last week from Vandy. Bama's back. They're going to do their thing today. Nope. Halftime, it was 14-12.
That's when I got into it. I went, well, I'll just take a peek at this. The peak was not good.
19 unanswered points. Bama literally didn't score half the game because they didn't score second quarter and they didn't score third quarter.
Did South Carolina went ahead, as a matter of fact.
South Carolina, I believe, because it was 19-14.
And then I'm thinking, Milroe, where are you at? And I still say
he showed up.
Jalen Milroe is. I was not my guy at first. He's starting to grow on me.
Well, you didn't believe last year? No, I'm serious. You weren't sold on him last year.
I wasn't sold on him last year.
I'm not mad at that.
But then when he comes back this year and he's looking, starting to look better. Kelly, there's 2 games that I'm very disappointed on. One was the Georgia game, and then this game yesterday.
Well, the Vandy game you should be disappointed in.
I was.
The Georgia game, I don't want to blame on him because I don't want to blame on him. The whole team kind of got too comfy. Yeah. The
Vandy game.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened in the Vandy game.
Bama said they wasn't going to have it yesterday, so they ended up pulling it out.
I thought they was going the same way.
It was funny because they had an offside kick. South Carolina did an offside kick, and it worked. It worked. And I said it when I've never seen an offside kick work. I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen an offside kick work.
We did.
We seen it work. Well, That was fucking first quarter. And I'm the one that always says, why people don't do that sooner? But it's risky and it's silly. But if we 0-0, why don't I do it? And I my first possession, I 3 and out. Why don't I try an offside kick? You get the ball anyway. I got a lot of time.
Pull out some stuff out of your grab bag.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
We watched, and it wasn't exciting. So I don't want anybody to get hyped up when I say the game we watched. We watched Washington versus Iowa. I think it was one of the games I wanted to watch because it was Washington's been kind of trying to make a name for themselves after they have a whole new roster change, a coach change.
Right.
Iowa's tough. Was our toughest competition until yesterday. Iowa being Big Ten.
I love Big Ten.
And I said, I want to see if this can get scrappy, if Washington can get scrappy. Can they be a Big Ten football team, right? And they weren't. But what was funny is your boy, what's his name, Cross, the kicker for Washington.
Oh, him.
He kicks the ball, and I thought it was no good. It goes over the pylon.
Oh,
I'm sorry, not the pylon. It goes over the post, or the goal post. And so they go and they review it, and then they say, the officials come out and say, it's not a reviewable play. It went over the goalpost line. And the announcer's like, well, the people in gold and black are saying, you just reviewed it. And it's decided that they have to review it to make sure it wasn't reviewable, because if the ball goes right over the post, you can't review it. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it.
You can't have half a football over one side.
Whole thing's gotta go.
The whole ball's
right?
gotta go
but
over.
But the whole ball was right over. And I said, I've never seen anything like that. That's crazy. That's bananas. And they got it. Ha ha ha. Iowa turns around and does the same thing. They kicked the ball right over the post.
Then the guy said,
well, they reviewed that one. Well, they knew they didn't need to review it because it's not reviewable. Twice, back to back in the same game. I couldn't believe it. And then it got me to thinking.
This is crazy.
We always talk. We don't always talk.
No,
that's the point of it. No. They brought up in one of the games the punter. One punter was his first punt was yesterday ever in his college career. The other punter had been, punting for 2 years, and it makes a difference. Ohio State.
Oh God.
8 punts out of bounds in that one game against Marshall, I believe. What are we doing? Setting our defense up, not setting our defense up for success, giving them a good start, and then you want defense to hold them off every time.
Mm-hmm.
While offense, are you getting points every time? Crazy, right? South Carolina had a missed field goal in that game. Could have made a difference. Oregon versus Ohio State had 4 points that they lost due to the kicking side of it.
Right. They missed a extra point after.
It got muffled, and then they missed a field goal. And we don't talk about it enough. And if you look at the games yesterday, all the overtimes, all the 1 point wins, 2 point wins,
yes.
2 point losses.
Yes.
Kickers are vital. That punter setting you up is vital. And you always say,
how to kick it to the 40-yard line?
No.
What do I always say? Oh, you only got one job.
They got one job.
One job.
But guess what?
One job.
You don't want it to come down to that kick. We always say that. Why was Ohio State in a predicament where we were only up 1 point difference anyway? We should have been up by a touchdown. But you don't want to come down to it. But oftentimes you come down to it. And you need them.
That's when you need your kicker.
Or sometimes your punter. So
yeah, you got to get that ball down in there.
We want to give them some kudos. We don't talk about it enough. We always tagging people down, dragging them down. The officials, still per usual. Oh. There was a bad pass interference call in the Ohio State game too. I'm still pissed about. The ball wasn't even coming my way. Wasn't coming your way. And because you flop when I jerk you off of me, it's pass interference. Bullshit. Hey, I digress. Let's go to the other game that was supposed to be the big game of the day.
And
the Red River.
Oh, so disappointing.
Let me tell you why I'm disappointed. Last year I needed Texas to win.
They
didn't win, and they blew up the parlay, and they don't know what's going on. But yesterday, same staff. Yours was the quarterback last year. Same staff.
Sure enough.
Notable, Dylan Gabriel was the quarterback for Oklahoma last year. Should have stayed there. And they want to come out and they beat the heck out of little Oklahoma. Yours is back from injury. His record when he comes back from injury is he always wins. But you know what they brought up yesterday and we did not realize? They just snuck it by us? Oklahoma benched Jackson Arnold.
They did. And I went, because I couldn't understand who this Michael Hawkins Jr. was. And I kept saying, that doesn't sound like the quarterback. We had to go and look it up.
True freshman. We're like, how'd they slip by us with a true freshman quarterback?
How can they play a true freshman in the Red River rivalry?
Where were we? They benched Arnold
in the Tennessee game.
Yeah, it was before this.
And after he had made like a couple of receptions and some fumble, they took him out. And plus, the little kid, Michael Hawkins had played against, I think, last week, and pulled him out of it and won it.
Well, let me ask. Sorry, I cut you off.
So I guess he decided I'm not putting him back in. So Michael Hawkins is my guy.
Now let me ask you this: you are, I think, at halftime it was 21-3, 17-3. So they were getting beat up. It was clear that Texas was the better team. Even though Texas had a little slow start. They had a little slow start. Obviously the better team. They went to the coach and they said, are you sticking with Hawkins? Because they said, Oklahoma, you're not getting nothing going. They thought Hawkins would be a spark. UCF benches KJ Jefferson yesterday. They thought it was going to be a spark. I don't think they end up winning, but I digress. And I know that's KJ's your guy. And so they said, you sticking with Hawkins.
Right.
And he said, he's doing all right.
Wasn't very enthusiastic at all.
Now, is that coach being egotistical and not putting Arnold back in the game and putting his...
Or trying to prove a point?
Hey, versus winning the game, though.
I want to win. Hey, I would put my mama in there if she had a
I'd put you in there.
Oh, hey, I could throw.
I think you could. I think you could. That man yesterday was scared of you on the escalator. I told him, you can't take her. You might can take me, big fella, but you can't take her. Well, maybe I need to go look because we didn't end up watching the game. We ended up leaving to go to watch our game. And maybe they did put Jackson Arnold back in. It doesn't look like it. But I thought about that. But one of the plays that we did see, which was... It just solidifies what I always say. You do not stop until you hear that whistle. Texas is running. He's running down. Right before he steps into the end zone, Oklahoma defensive lineman knocks the ball out of his hand. And another Texas player comes up, recovers the fumble in the end zone and gets the touchdown. And now, mind you, he was all the way down the field, across the field. And when they played it back, there were two Oklahoma players not involved in the actual, not the one who knocked it out,
but two,
not the guy, and not including the guy who knocked it out.
No,
he did his job.
He did his job.
They had stopped running.
They stopped running, and then the guy just zips past him. And I thought, then when he realizes there's a fumble, it's too late. It's my guy.
Can't start your engine back up.
6 p.m.
What do we always say? You never stop. You never stop. You hustle until you hear that whistle.
Yeah,
and it paid off for that young man. And I know Kurt Hernstreet stole it from me. You're my witness.
He did.
I said it first.
The same thing.
And we always say that.
Good
I
hustle.
don't know why they give up on the plays.
He said, good hustle. See how they showed it again. They showed him being knocked down at the first initial start of the play, jumps back up, starts running down the field, and he was there at that critical moment when he fumbled the ball. He just drove right in.
Drove right in.
Two, as she said, not one but two, big Oklahoma guys just standing there.
And one of them wasn't even that big, because I give you the defense of, it was big enough, but he could have kept running and kept hustling.
He could have.
And I love that guy hawked him down and still knocked that ball out.
That was a good play too.
I love it.
He didn't stop running.
I love it.
Did not stop running.
I love it. One more game, speaking of being a disappointing fan. Number 4 Penn State versus unranked USC. Halftime, USC is up 20-6.
Oh, yeah.
Ends up going to overtime. Penn State wins by 3 points. USC. Now, we're talking local rivalry. I got to go with UCLA. I know.
How dare you?
But for the last few years...
UCLA ain't been ranked.
Exactly.
USC,
well, USC has been the better team. They've had the quarterback.
Right.
They've had the buzz.
Right.
And so, I get it. Right? I get it. And I wanted so bad for USC to fit into this Big Ten.
Maybe another year. Because they started out so well.
Lincoln Riley's a Big Ten coach. He brought over Caleb Williams, who was a Big Ten quarterback at the time. Now, Miller Moss is obviously got recruited into Pac-12. USC Now it's back to now they are Big Ten, USC, and I was hoping. I said if anybody could do it, I knew Oregon was going to be a shoo-in. I knew that,
No
and
problem.
I said USC might maybe do it, and they said no. They said yesterday before the game, they said, you know what, USC has not had good luck against the Big Ten. Penn State's been playing solid football. We don't agree. I think Penn State is not as good as the ranking says they are, and they just haven't been tested. And so, and I'm not saying USC was a test either, because they're unranked technically.
Well, they started out
And so,
real good.
well, no, they're not though. That's not about where you start. It's where you rank this week.
So you
They don't care if you were number one when it started and I beat you. No, they don't care. But what happened? I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. We've seen the clips.
Okay. That's all the games I want to talk about.
Oh, we didn't have too much.
And I just want to talk about the rankings. Did I miss any games?
Did you miss any games? Nope. I think we did all we could do on that.
Okay.
We didn't have very much to talk about, but still, the big game being Ohio State, Oregon. Now here is
I
where
thought you were excited about Vandy, Kentucky.
How you did bring it up.
No, you brought it up.
You did.
You brought it up.
I did. Because I wanted to see if Vandy was just a fluke, and I wanted to see if Kentucky, with that tough defense, could keep it up.
So Kentucky loses to Georgia by 1 point, comes back the next week and beats Ole Miss. Or the next game and beats Ole Miss. Vandy, as we all know, beats number 1 Alabama. And so it's like,
okay,
is this the test of the battle testers? Or is this the battle of the testers? They test everybody else. Is this the battle? Kentucky won.
Vandy won. Vandy comes back.
Kentucky, come on. You grandma's favorite team.
I said to myself, I said, maybe Kentucky. Maybe it was a bad week. Maybe we were flat. I don't know. Don't care. They lost. Kentucky lost 17-23 to Vandy. So I thought,
that means they came back. Because I think Vandy was up on them by 2 touchdowns.
I believe you had said that.
Okay.
So now I'm thinking, okay, who can we trust? Who can we look forward to? I just don't know. You can't trust nobody.
You can't trust nobody.
Ooh, I'm looking bad. Put these glasses back on.
Oh, that hangover. I know. I want to put mine back on. The light is bright in here.
Very bright.
Oh, my God. We should have closed the blinds.
You should have.
All right. Give me the rankings. I don't know the new rankings.
Okay.
I'm going to be very pissed, but we're going to let it go. Give them to me.
Don't be upset now. Come on.
Give them to me.
Okay. You want the rankings?
I want the rankings.
All right. We got it.
Well, what you got your laptop open for? I thought you had the rankings on your laptop.
Oh, shoot. What am I looking at? Doggone it.
Oh, goodness.
Kurt, the NFL wanted me, but I couldn't lose a computer. That's why.
That's okay. Why has you got the screen so small?
Why have I got the screen so small?
Yeah, why don't you click the square that makes it cover the whole...
You know what? I like it. You can cover the whole thing.
Y'all, I'm not editing this either. Y'all just got to see. This is how it works around here. I got to rein in the talent. I got to rein in the technology.
But you don't have... Oh, I can't find my rankings. I should have had them ready. Where am I at? Oh, more. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Rankings. Okay, ready? Here we go.
All right.
Top 25, week 8.
Number 1.
Texas.
Okay.
Number 2, Oregon.
Okay. Respect.
3, Penn State.
Boo. Go.
4, Ohio State.
There we go. Okay.
I said 5.
I told you.
I told you.
I gotta respect Penn State because you gotta respect that they don't have a loss. But there's no way. There's no way you drop it. They 2 versus 3. Come on. Let's go, O State. Still top 4. Let's go.
Said it. I said 5, but you know what they did? They left Georgia as 5.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay,
Georgia started to beat up on little Mississippi State, and then it ended up they only beat them by 10 points. So Georgia is still wounded somewhere. Keep going. Number 5 is Georgia.
All right, Miami. They did not. Miami U.
They were by.
Thursday didn't play. Stayed the same. Alabama stayed the same. Alabama should have stayed the same. They did not impress me yesterday.
Bama could have dropped if you would asked me, but I ain't gonna hold you. You won. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay, let me go. Number 8 is LSU. They moved up 5 spots.
Because they beat Ole Miss, upset. Number 9 versus number 6. I think LSU was 9 last week.
It could have.
Oh, wait, let's tell me right here. LSU was 13, and then I don't know what Ole Miss was. I think Ole Miss was 9. We'll see where they go. Okay, so they moved up 5 spots. Let's go.
Ole Miss was 9, baby.
Okay.
So, Iowa
State.
Let me get that right. Iowa State moves up to number 9.
Love it. They undefeated.
Clemson still hanging on the 10. You go, Dabo.
You go, Dabo. They beat up on somebody yesterday.
I know. Tennessee fell 3 points to 11.
Tennessee lost yesterday?
They won, but barely. Tennessee beat Florida 23-17.
Not Florida.
Yikes.
Yikes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Notre Dame's number 12. They dropped one. Why they dropped one, I don't know. That's an interesting point. I got to look at that.
They won and they dominated the game. But you know what? But you know what?
Who's they playing?
But guess what? We middle of the season now.
We played Stanford.
So we know. Okay, and then we know what you look like.
And they look at all the stuff. Like whoever ranks these, they look at all the stuff. Blah 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 blah.
Well,
the defense. We don't. We just see the rank.
No, not necessarily. Even if we think about what we know, what we've seen.
Okay.
With the way Clemson is clawing and fighting, are they better than Notre Dame? Yeah. Okay. Are they better than Tennessee? Yeah. They are. Right. LSU fighting back from I think an early loss, early win. Don't matter.
But yeah, we give
Beat Ole Miss, you gotta respect it. Okay, keep it going. Okay. Keep it going. Who's number 13?
Number 13, BYU moved up like another spot. BYU, watch them.
Beat Kansas State. Y'all been up and on the up and up.
Watch them.
5 touchdowns in 8 minutes.
Your guy, your team, and they dismissed them at first. Texas A&M is now at 14.
Good. Texas A&M is a good team.
They started at the bottom.
They are a good team. No, they started at the top. Week 1, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, College Station. Brought them down. That's okay. Let's go, Texas A&M.
15, Boise State. Watch for them. Watch for them. They're
sneaking up too. Okay.
16, Indiana.
Okay.
They're another one that, like I'm saying, they moved up 2.
Okay. Indiana, I don't think we gotta see Indiana then. Okay. I think I've watched them play.
They're 6-0.
6-0.
And I think they ruled on the Big 12 or Big 10.
Big 10. I think they lead the Big 10.
They're number 1 in the Big 10.
Yeah, because Michigan's been beat, Ohio State's been beat.
Okay, they number 1. Kansas State, number 17.
Now, Kansas State did not look great to me against Colorado yesterday. They only beat Colorado by 3. Yeah, Colorado had 2 major players out.
Travis
got hurt. He did not return after the second quarter. And Jimmy Horn Jr.
Jimmy Horn. And somebody else went out. I don't think.
I feel like another defense. Now, Shiloh Sanders was back. But 3 points. Colorado is. It makes me mad because they right on the edge. And then next year, they're not going to have the players.
Yeah.
Because Shador's going to draft. Right. Travis is going to draft. Jimmy Horn may return. Shiloh's going to draft. You want to say it or you want me to say it? That's how it works, y'all. It's like this off camera, too, by the way. Right. Go. Sorry.
18.
Ooh.
Mississippi.
They dropped them 9.
Dropped them 9.
That's how it works in the drop zone.
Whoa.
Keep it going.
That's how it works in the drop zone.
Keep it going.
Missouri, 19.
Okay.
Pitt, number 20.
Mm-hmm.
SMU, they didn't play, but they moved up like 4 spots.
Interesting.
They had a bye. But Illinois.
That means a bunch of people must have dropped out.
Not so fast, my friend.
So 22 is Illy.
Illinois, look who jumped in here. Number 23, Army.
They deserved it. I said it last week.
You sure did.
They deserved it. Army been dominating.
6-0 or 7-0?
They are 6-0. Nobody can be 7-0. It's only.
Oh, that's true. I'm looking right at it.
Army has been dominating. They should have been ranked at least 25 last week. I don't know why we be trying to hold on and give these people rankings at the bottom when it ain't even necessary. Keep it going. Let's go.
Michigan State, where they were? 24.
They had a bye week, right?
They had a bye week.
They didn't play.
They didn't play. Navy jumps in.
Let's go.
At 25.
And this is the first time Navy and Army have been undefeated at the same time since the 70s or 96.
Well, they kept saying it.
Somebody is 96. Somebody is the 70s. I love it. I love it. I am anti-war. I want to be very clear. But I am pro-college football. And they deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve it. I'm very excited. So who dropped out? Because you got two people. You got two people who were not ranked. Popped in.
I'm going to tell you who dropped out. Utah. Drop zone.
Drop zone. Number 16. Out. You got to go.
Drop out. You gotta go. Drop zone. Drop out. Okay, Oklahoma.
You got to go.
You got to go. That Texas might have kept you in.
But you know what? I don't even think it was that. I think it was, yes, Texas is number 1. We get it. Yes, Oklahoma was 16 or wherever they were. We get it. Y'all had 3 points.
They were 18.
My bad. They were 18. You had 3 points. You didn't look good, and I think that was a second loss. I have to go look. Don't stress it. But you needed to drop out. You needed to drop out. Now, I see you got the top vote, and it was Vandy.
Vandy got the top vote.
Runner-up.
Runner-up is Vandy. Can you believe that?
Wow.
I looked at that and went,
I mean,
right? Vandy?
Yes, because I told you, Vandy should have been ranked last week. I beat the number 1 team in the nation. I don't care they've been number 1 for 1 week. You said they were number 1. I beat them. I can't get ranked 25? Come on. That should be a consolation prize.
Give me
That's crazy.
But if they continue to, you know,
then it beat Kentucky. I think Kentucky's a tough beat too. You gotta give them credit.
I say when you down here and this close, it only takes 1 loss, folks, for you to jump in that top 25.
Well, you to win.
You to win.
For you to win, and when you in the other receiving votes at the bottom of that ranking, you get you another a good win. Mm-hmm. You can get in there.
You can get in.
OIMG. Okay, wait. So I had some games I liked, but I picked them last night, and so that was before the rankings came out. So you got me. Where'd you say Tennessee ended up? You mind going back up on your little screen
11,
for me real quick?
11.
Okay, Tennessee ended up at 11.
Yeah.
Okay, Texas is still number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where's the staff around here? Why is my pen going out? We gotta have a hiring fair.
It's a technical
Bama is
still number 7.
Number 7. They didn't move them. I just said Illinois was 22, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
what you got?
Well, let's volley because I think we might have the same one.
We do. Okay.
As of last night, which still looks like it's true today, we had 3 ranked teams that are playing for week 8. I guess somebody could be 7-0, but you gotta have a bye by now.
Yeah.
That's why nobody's 7-0 because this is week 7.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
This was week 8.
No, next week is week 8.
Oh, next week is week 8.
I'm sorry. Yesterday was week 7 is what I meant. You get me? Okay. Okay, let me go first and then you go, then I go, then you go?
Okay.
Number 7 Bama versus number 11 Tennessee. Tennessee.
Yep. I got that one. I think that's going to be a good game.
Bama lost on the road to Vandy.
Yep.
Bama's not 100%. And if they don't snap back and get to where they know they need to be, it could be a tough game against Tennessee. I'm
excited to snap back too.
Now Tennessee's got that freshman quarterback, ran out of bounds, got big loss when he should have threw
Nico
it.
Lama.
We know how that goes, and so I'm excited because I haven't got to watch a lot of Tennessee. I've seen a lot of Bama. I haven't got to watch a lot of Tennessee. I want to see more. I'm very excited about that. What you got?
The next one I got is number 5 Georgia versus number 1 Texas.
Now this is on my list, and I'm so excited about this because Georgia is a national championship team. What do you mean by that, Kelly? Not the fact that they have won 2 national championships in the last 3 or 4 years, 3 years, I believe. It's also the fact that it's the same personnel.
Yes.
Still Carson Beck at a quarterback. Still Coach Kirby Smart.
Yes.
Some of the other players have changed. I'm not doubting you, but I say that because they are a national championship team. Is Texas who people say Texas is? Mm-hmm. I got to be honest with you. I'm not buying into Texas yet.
This is going to be their test because just like 2 and 3 played yesterday, 5 and 1 is going to be a championship game if Texas is what they say they are.
Georgia beats Texas next week.
You think?
I think they will. I will put my money on Georgia. But then, what happens to that damn top 5?
We're going up and down. That's all I can say.
We are battling.
We're on a roller coaster on these top 5.
Oh my God. Okay, I got another one for you.
Go ahead.
This is a little bottom of the basement one, but of the rankings.
Okay.
Number 24 Michigan versus number 22 Illinois. More so for Illinois.
I looked at that and I went,
I know who Michigan is.
I know who Michigan is.
I want to see if the Fighting Illini are really what they say they are. Because if that's the case, it could be something interesting to watch down the line when Illinois plays Oregon.
You looking ahead, aren't ya? Okay, I like it.
All right.
I like it.
You got anything else?
The only other one I got is, and I'm still hanging on to Kentucky.
Oh, God.
But guess who they playing?
Who they're playing?
Florida.
Kentucky. I'm putting my money on Kentucky. Florida cannot figure it out.
Florida almost had it this week.
I don't understand what we talked about in the beginning. I'm gonna bring it back about being a fan.
Yes.
We don't know about rebuilding. We don't know about this lull. But if you can imagine, Florida was a dynasty once upon a time. We talked about Urban Meyer. We talked about the national championships. We all know Tim
They're
Tebow.
a dynasty.
How hard has it been to be a Florida fill in the blank fan? Florida Gators, Florida State, after having an undefeated season last year, being shafted. Florida State comes back looking like what? UCF is always on the cusp of being on the cusp. And you want to, like, what, 5 years ago, I believe it was, they were undefeated. They had that crazy run. Of course, they didn't get the respect they deserved. I think they went into the championship for the ACC. Neither here nor there. That was 5 years ago. They got KJ Jefferson. He's such a good quarterback, solid quarterback, I would say. They changed him out yesterday. It didn't help. And it's like, geez Louise, Papa Cheese. What team in Florida can you root for?
Miami U.
Yeah, okay.
It's the only team Miami came back like, okay, we're going to show y'all what we got.
But Kentucky, as we talked about, is tough.
Oh.
Kentucky is tough. So this game is not going to be a walk in the park for Florida. And it won't be a walk in the park for Kentucky, if you ask me.
They're not ranked. I just want to see the fight. That's all.
I got you. So I didn't really look at the schedule. I was very nervous because I didn't want to see what the rankings were today.
Okay.
But you pulled an old, rabbit out of your hat. I'm not mad at UCLA Rutgers. Rutgers.
I saw that too, and I thought,
if we can peek it, I'm not gonna clear my schedule for it because the reason is I thought Rutgers was gonna give Wisconsin some work yesterday. And they did not. And little UCLA tried to fight against Minnesota yesterday. And it's kind of like they are the sixth child of the Brady Bunch. Who can beat each other and not end up as Marsha? You know?
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, Gee, do you have anything?
No.
Anything else?
I'm tapped out.
Tapped out, turned over, hung over. I'm so glad breakfast is ready. We definitely need it. Okay, I'm not gonna hold us, but there are several other little matchups that might could be interesting. And you know what, y'all? It's week 7.
We through that halfway point now. Bring on your big boy. Put on your big boy pants.
And why is 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. I'm Kelly, like the color.
I'm Key, like the butter.
And this is Saturday Hangover. Me, my mom. We talk about college football. We might talk about other stuff. We may get in an argument. You might hear the wine timer. You might hear breakfast being cooked. But you're going to hear about football. What we think about football.
Oh.
We'll see y'all next week.
Adios, muchachos.